Very good afternoon to all of you. I hope you all enjoyed very nice and elaborate lunch. We'll try our best to keep it very interesting and keep you people engaged too. So let me first start with my introduction. My name is Mamta Saxena, and I'm part of Accenture Interactive, and I lead digital marketing. I was born and brought up in Delhi, which all of you know is the political hub of India. And I have a 5-year-old daughter. Actually, I'm really enjoying the weather here in Mumbai, and especially a little better air, the quality which we have here as compared to what is there in Delhi. So I have been in IT industry for more than 2 decades now. And throughout my career, I have performed various kind of roles, be it product management, delivery management, leading large digital transformation programs for our global customers across multiple industries. And I have done a lot of work in multiple technologies and have extensive experience in the commerce, content, and marketing platform. I've been with Accenture now for over 8 years. And I would like my colleague to introduce herself.
Thank you, Mamta. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kani Manoharan, also part of Accenture Interactive. I'm a statistician by training and a marketeer by profession. I specialize in campaign management, leads management, customer experience orchestration, and marketing transformations. I worked for clients across different industries, and I have exposure in both B2B and B2C space. I'm a resident of Gurgaon, and I'm very excited to be here amongst you all.
Thank you, Kani. So our topic is marketing in the era of extended reality. So before we do deep dive into this topic, we would like to show you some teaser videos and would like to see who from this group is able to identify what it is all about. Any guesses? Great. So the next one. We are trying to keep you awake.
Anyone want to try? Oh, wow.
Wow, that's fantastic.
What is it all about? Okay, but something more you can add to it? Yeah, that's right. Okay, the last one. You're right, absolutely, bang on. This is an easy one to guess. Yes, paints. Yes, I know. But which paint? So it's Asian Paint seems to be very popular. They have a very good brand recall. So it's for Dulux. Okay, so now getting into the topic here. Um, so I'm sure you all will agree with me that the world of marketing has fundamentally changed. Correct? We had a lot of discussions before the lunch on this as well. So if you see the marketing ecosystem has been evolving. We have around 4 billion internet users. And most of them, if you look at our mobile internet users. We have put a lot of power in the hands of the consumers today, and their behavior has been changing quite a lot. And you may have noticed, like if you want to buy any product today, we quickly go into our smartphones and browse for that particular product, try to look for the customer ratings, what are the customer reviews about that particular product before and after their purchase. And they can easily go and compare the product, its features and price across various brands, right? And what we have seen that this is leading into a lot of online transactions today in the world, and it's leading to $1.5 trillion of revenue coming through the online transactions itself. So if you look at here, it's opening a door for enormous number of opportunities for all of us here. Then we have been noticing that the consumer behavior and expectations are changing multifold. Today's customer, or I would say the consumer, is very, very busy. They're hard pressed with time. And they are on the move all the time, and they have so many distractions. They are looking for things which they can quickly buy, or they are relevant for them, or they are available everywhere. And as a result of that, you can see that it is creating new ways of doing business. On the other side, if you look at brands, they are facing very different kind of challenge in the world. They have a lot of budgetary constraints. The marketing ecosystem is been changing, and it is becoming more and more complex. Beside this, they are having a lot of constraints or a lot of pressure from the ROI perspective, return on investments. So it means that we have to reimagine the business in a different way altogether. We have to redefine the way we do business today. And hence, it is creating the need for new ways of doing business. During the, just before the lunchtime, we had a panel discussions, and we were talking about a lot of trends. So recently, Accenture also released their industry trends, which is based on their research. So I thought that it will be good to discuss in this forum about what are the trends which we are seeing in the industry. So the first one which I would like to pick up is the dark power, right? So the new technologies are going to have a big impact, or they are going to be the catalyst for change today. And they are going to create extraordinary opportunities and make industry redefine themselves, as I have been saying. Now, what does dark here means? The dark here means distributed ledger, artificial intelligence, extended reality, and quantum computing. I would like to cite an example here that you can think of actually the movies in future, where the audience will live inside the stories itself. They will be immersed in the augmented reality world, and they will be artificial intelligent characters who will be interacting and interfacing with them, and the access and the payments will happen through distributed ledger. That's going to be the power of these technologies. Coming to the next one, get to know me. So all the technology interactions which we have been talking before the lunch is actually like, for example, we go and post our photos on the Facebook, we tweet, we do WhatsApp, Snapchat, we use all these social networks. And what we are doing in turn is we are creating technology identity. And the organizations or marketers are going to use this data for driving hyper-personalization. I would like to cite an example of an organization which is called SlicePay. So actually, if you look at in the world, there are around 1.7 billion people who does not have bank account, or they have not been able to lend money because they don't have any credit history. So now this is like a catch-22 situation. So how do they get a loan if they don't have a credit history? So this SlicePay is a company which is a credit company. I mean, they have been providing credit platform, and what they have been doing is that they have started tracking the history of the students in terms of how often they are going for vacations, and how do they get to know when they load their pictures on the Facebook. Secondly, what kind of restaurants they are visiting. Again, our new millennial generation is actually putting a lot of pictures. From there, they are picking up all this data and then analyzing this data to create their profiles, and then using that profile and the history to provide loans to the students. So that's where we are going as in terms of creating our own technology identity. Coming to human plus work, which is the third trend. So if you look at today's workforce, it's actually human plus worker. These people are empowered with a lot of skills, knowledge, experience. Beside this, they have been augmented with tools based on AR, VR technologies, so that they can perform their jobs with precision and with high productivity. You may have seen, many operations now are also happening using AR, VR technologies. Beside this, even mining issues, like if the workers have to solve problems, or the manager in mining have to solve a problem which is down below, 1 or 2 miles, they use data visualization tools and AR, VR technologies, all these new technologies to solve the problem without going down below 1 or 2 miles. Coming to the next one, which is secure us and secure me. Today, there are so many examples we have of marketplace, right? So if you look at the ecosystem, is today of all the companies is actually interconnected. So we depend on each other. So at the same time, these companies are now having very high risk exposure as well. So they are coming together and collaborating to provide world-class products and services. So it's time to also collaborate for security efforts as well. I would like to cite an example that last year, somewhere in September or October, JP Morgan, MasterCard, and Fidelity, they came together and they did this security, the cyber security exercise together. That's where the world is going to be moving in terms of security. The last, but not the least trend, which I want to talk about is my market. So if you look at the technology today, is making everything very customized and on demand. So it means now users want everything now, or the customers' aspirations, expectations have really gone multifold, and they want everything now. So just to cite an example here is of General Motors. They have installed 3D printers in their manufacturing unit itself. So if any of the tool breaks down, they can quickly go and get that tool ready, and their chain of supply or manufacture will start running all over again. So they have, actually, it used to cost them around $3,000 a year. Now, with 3D printing being available within the manufacturing unit, the cost has reduced to $3 only. So these are the trends, and I'm happy to share this has just come 2 weeks back, released in Accenture, and I believe in India we are sharing for the first time. So with that, I would like you to just have a view of extended reality, see how it appears to be, and then I will ask Kani to take you forward in this journey.
All right. So basically now we're going to talk about the use of extended reality in marketing, right? Before I get into it, by a quick show of hands, how many of you understand the term extended reality? Anyone? Okay. How many of you understand augmented reality? All right, cool. Virtual reality? Awesome. Okay. So for everyone's benefit, I'll start with a quick description in layman's terms about what these means. So augmented reality, as the name suggests, it basically augments the real environment or the real world that you're in by superimposing system generated images, objects, information, and basically create a new interactive experience for you. That's augmented reality for you, right? Virtual reality, on the other hand, does the same thing, just that it transports you to a different world altogether. The entire thing is a simulation. There is no merging of, your background, your real world, along with the additional information. Now, the use of AR and VR, augmented reality and virtual reality, is basically helping us extend our real world, our reality around us, and gives us a different experience. So that's why we call it extending your environment or your real world environment, in short, extended reality, right? So today we are going to talk about some examples of how extended reality can be used in the world of retail, right? So another quick question by show of hands. How many of you have been to Zara store in India? All right, quite a few, not bad. How many of you have been to Zara store outside of India? Awesome, okay. I don't know if you have seen it or if you had a chance to experience it, and others, if you've had a chance to read about it, but Zara has invested in extended reality and has been trying to create a unique experience for the customer. What they do is, in some of the shops in India, I don't think it's in, some of the shops in US, it's not in India right now, they have, podiums within the stores, or they have, space reserved in their window display where users who have the app, they come and point in that space, and you can see real life models coming alive, wearing the kind of clothes that you're exploring, right? So you get to see how a piece of clothing looks on a certain persona before you actually can buy it, right? Similar example is Lenskart. How many of you have bought frames and spectacles in Lenskart? All right. So what does Lenskart do? It helps us, experience how the frames or the spectacles look on us before we actually make the transaction. One option is you go to the store, you try out different specs, and then you make the purchase, right? But if you don't have time and you want to buy something really quickly and you go online, instead of just picking and choosing by looking at certain images, Lenskart gives an option to the end user to try on those frames by clicking pictures of yourself from various angles, and it kind of superimposes the frames and gives you a view of how it will look like, right? So what we are saying is extended reality is really beginning to transform the way you and I shop today, right? It is bringing in a revolution of how the entire store experience is being created. As per market study, almost 40% of the customers, they are ready to pay more for a product if they are experiencing it through extended reality. A good 60% of customers prefer to go to a store that offers extended reality experience as compared to one that doesn't offer, right? All said and done, in general, if you look at what the customers want, all they want at the end of the day is a highly personalized experience. A good 80% of the customers would like to do a business with the brand if they get a personalized experience, right? So extended reality is really changing the game. It's really changing the way the traditional commerce journey has been coming along. So next I would like to talk about what are the benefits of using this? How does it matter to us? Why do we use it, right? So there are two aspects of it. I'll start with the user side of it. The first benefit of using extended reality in marketing initiatives that you're running is being able to give a rich and immersive experience for the end user, right? So in the example of Lenskart, instead of just looking at the images versus being able to actually see how the different specs look on yourself and be able to try different varieties, different colors, different frames before you actually make the purchase, and be able to gather all the information about the products through this technology, the user is more engaged with the brand while making this transaction, right? It is also helping the user feel the product or experience the product, virtually of course, but be able to get a full feeling of how it's going to look like. Even brands like Amazon, right? They are investing in AR to develop applications that will help the end user to, experience how the product looks like when they place a product in their specific rooms or tables. So if I have a home improvement plan, I want to buy a lampshade, the app will help me place the lampshade on a table in my room, kind of check whether the color goes well, the size looks good, the variety and the different kinds of lampshades look good with the backgrounds of my own personal room, and see whether it really looks good or not, right? So it's just giving me and defining a different experience altogether. The third benefit is considering that the brand knows me as a user, the brand knows who I am, the brand has lots of data with being generated from all the online interactions I'm making. In addition to that, if the brand is capturing all the offline transactions I'm making, then using the online data and the offline data, the brands will be able to create a highly personalized content for the end user, customized for the end user, which, as we saw in the earlier slide, is one of the most important things that a customer looks for. The other advantage of using the technology is virtual collaboration. How many times have you had this experience of, speaking to a sales rep, trying to get some information, and then the sales rep says, oh, let me get my senior, and then you start again. You have to you have to post all your questions, and it's the same cycle, right? And at the same time, you have to wait, and you have to hope that the sales rep is available to answer your questions. So with this technology, you're able to, enable virtual collaboration. What that means is you have information at your fingertips at the time you want, at your own convenience. So that is something that a customer is really looking for in today's time. Finally, it also helps reduce language barriers. Since it's all virtual, it's all easy to translate, localize the content for the different geographies, for the different regions, and make sure that, with no cost almost, you're able to spread or connect to majority of users. So these are the advantages what the end user will experience. Now, coming to brands, what do the brands have to benefit? The most important thing is product differentiation and brand recall. In today's time, extended reality as a technology is being used by very few brands, but all of us kind of get to know about these brands, and we know that these brands are doing something different. You want to interact with those brands, you want to experience those brands, so it really helps in product differentiation and brand recall. Second being, obviously, if your customers are being happy, you're getting good experience, you're building better relationship. Better relationship, as you all know, has many other benefits for the brands. It helps in better decision making. As I said, all information at your fingertips and easier, quicker, faster. It helps reduce physical costs. You don't need tons and tons and tons of stores. You can create as many virtual worlds that you need, and you're able to share the information with everyone. Finally, obviously, it's a digital product, digital service. It's a brand new avenue for making money, right? It's a different way of generating revenue for all of us. So on that note, I'm going to talk about how this is helping us. We've seen that extended reality is a highly powerful mechanism to draw customer attention. It helps the brands deliver the right message at the right time, with the right context and the right channel, right? By delivering a purely and highly personalized experience. So on that note, we would like to present to you Retail, which is basically an Accenture solution for a retail shopping experience which is built on augmented reality. It has a couple of features. To start with, it has a 360-degree product viewing. So what it does is, with the app, you can scan the product, you can swipe left, right, bring it forward, and basically feel the product virtually across all dimensions and really see whether you like the product or not. Along with information about the product, right? It shares metadata, it shares the product dimensions, and it shares all information associated with that product. Second, it provides personalized offers and recommendations based on the kind of customer you are, based on the kind of persona you have. It has a recommendation engine which will customize and personalize different kinds of offers and messages for you. Third, it has an ability to provide real-time recommendations. So if I'm a customer who's been showing online activity and by looking at some chairs or sofas online, it knows what kind of person I am, it knows what my interests are, and it will be able to provide real-time recommendation in terms of the products that are best suited to my needs. The next one is AR-based store navigation. I know IKEA has just opened up in India, right? The likes of IKEAs are known for, huge warehouses, huge spaces, huge stores. So a person like me will easily get lost in a store like that when I know exactly what I'm looking for. It's very hard to, look through the different corners, identify the product that you need, and then make a purchase. Right? It becomes just an overwhelming experience. So what this app does is it provides a navigation help. What that does is, based on the kind of activities I've been showing, it will be able to guide you. Once you're in the store, it will be able to guide you, say, hey, Kani, you just looking for some products. If you're interested in buying there, follow this path. Right? Finally, it also provides real-time product information, which means it will tell you whether a certain product is in stock, not in stock, how much time it's going to take to deliver to your address, and all other useful information. Okay? So next, I'm going to explain a little more about this app by taking an example journey. So meet Ellen. She's an expat. Let's assume she's an expat. She's living in Mumbai, and she's 32 years old. She is a very busy person, but at the same time, she shops almost always at Retail. So she's a loyal customer, she's a high-value customer, and she is very busy, right? So she just recently moved into a new apartment, and she wants to buy furniture for her drawing room. She finds out that Retail just opens a store near her office, which is very convenient. What she does is, during her lunch break, she decides to go to the shop, and once she's in the store, she opens the app logs into it, and the app guides her where she should go and look for the chair that she's been looking for online. It tells her what all information is associated with that particular product. It knows that she's a loyal customer, so it gives her recommendations and offers based on her loyalty segment. And finally, it gives her additional product recommendations based on her interest that she has expressed online, right? So that's a quick journey. I'm going to show you a small video that is created for this journey. It's actually recorded on the actual app on the mobile. So I'm hoping it is clear, but let's try it out. Awesome, isn't that cool? So this is just one sample example. The same can be customized for different industries and different users and the different journeys that you want to realize. So on that note, I just want to seed in few thoughts, just some basic food for thought for you. The things that you want to think about while working with your brands. What are the underlying needs that you're trying to solve for? What is it that the customers are actually looking for? Second, what are their preferences? What is their digital persona? What is their digital footprint? What is their digital identity, right? Third, how will you measure success? How are you going to ensure that what you're investing in and is benefiting you in the right way? And finally, how can technologies like this basically help improve the overall user engagement? So on that note, Kani Manoharan and Mamta Saxena are open to any questions. And thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for listening to us so patiently. Any questions?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Ram. Thank you. It was quite an insightful conversation. See, I have a simple question. With Microsoft HoloLens coming in, we are going to see the holographics going to the next level. And I think it's going to be even better than AR, VR, or mixed reality, or extended reality, whatever you call it. Because there you will have the capability of kinetics, where you can, gesture control and do a lot of other things. So what Zara did around a couple of years back was good for that time. But going forward, don't you think better than mixed reality would be having a holographic reality which gives the kinetic power to the consumer?
I mean, absolutely. I won't say one technology is over and above other technology. It is something that is definitely worth investing in. That being said, I don't know how much it is, it's still new, it's still evolving, and I think it's going to need some time in, being able to generate the experience that we feel that the customer will eventually be looking for. in terms of extended reality or mixed reality, Zara is just one example, but there are many more brands that are already doing this. And if we speak about IPL, Hotstar had kiosk in Mumbai where people were able to play the balls that Sachin was facing in real time, right? So it is something that's already has gained momentum and has already shown the benefits, and their ROIs are really promising. There's significant, jumps and gains in terms of 20 to 30% of, just new sales that brands are already experiencing. So, and as people are saying since morning, digital is something that keeps changing. One technology moves on to the other. So it's not that this is the end of it. This is just probably a phase. Once HoloLens comes in, and there's new solutions coming into the market, I'm sure there's going to be more potential.
Yeah, and it also depends on what kind of use cases you want to implement. So that will, and what kind of cost budgets you have. Based on that, people will adopt different technologies the way they have been doing in today's world. Anybody else?
Hello. So AR has been around since like 2011, 10, 11. It hasn't taken up, it hasn't taken off yet. It's 2019 right now.
Yep.
There have been multiple players who have tried to push it. But what is the actual, I see the gimmicky part about it. It's cool, it can go viral on social media, right? But what is the actual usability of it? What is the active user base of this app? So right now you showed us this demo of this retail store. How many active users of this? Is it just a thing which is a new innovative stuff that you want to try out? Or do people actually end up using it on a regular basis?
So, agree with you that, there's been investments and it's been, around for a couple of years. But the data tells us that year on year, the absorption and the adoption of the technology is increasing. The amount of investments that were made in 2016, 2017 versus what has been made in 2018 across most of the brands is almost up by 15%. So it's changing, it's evolving. It has probably taken up time in the initial few years because of the development and the advancement required in the different technologies. So right now, there's a little more maturity, and these kind of solutions are becoming more and more prominent across different brands. There was one more part of the
I just want to add
question.
one more thing here.
User base.
If you, so this app which she has shared they have developed it as a proof of concept for it. So it is not a app which Accenture has launched in the market. So that is what we were just trying to show, the power of extended reality and where it can be applied. I just want to answer to your question is where it has been used. So in New York City, Nike has come up with a big store, which where they have implemented these all technologies, where where the consumers just walk in and they can visualize. There are no salesperson there. So they can use app, they can visualize different designs while wearing them in a virtual way, and they can check out and all those things they can do using these all technologies. And you can do.
I'm with you on that. Nike had done an augmented reality kiosk in 2010, 11.
No, but they have recently come up with a very big store.
So, what is the usage of it? Like, how do people end up using it later? Is it just a starting buzz? Is it just a fad? Like the Apple had recently, there's an article about how animojis were like a big hit initially, but later it kind of died down. There's hardly any usage of animojis, which they launched with the iPhone X.
So definitely, it depends on the use case that you're working on, and it depends on the brand, and it depends on the experience that you're trying to define. If your question is this technology here to stay forever? The answer is no. If your question is this technology going to help you build on user experience today, considering the challenges that are already there, then I would say the answer is yes. And in addition to it, over the next couple of years, there are going to be new technologies, there are going to be new concepts that we'll be working on, and all of it will have a different impact, right? 2 years back or 3 years back, it was more about video enabled marketing, right? It was all about how do you pass on messages through videos, either they are auto playing or they are just communicated through different channels. But now it's different technology, and a couple of years later, it's going to be different technology altogether. So there are brands that have high user rates. Amazon is investing a lot in it. Even Lacoste, for that matter. Lacoste, when they were trying to target a specific audience in the youth age category, they came up with an app that basically helped them, interact with different kind of shoes and all. And it turned out to be a huge success at that point. Hotstar had this AR kiosk, and it was attracting people to be able to, play the shots and just get engaged in it. So it depends on different campaigns, it depends on different brands, it depends on different experiences that you're trying to build in, and brands have had success in it, definitely. And over a period of time, this will evolve, and in addition to it, new technologies will continue to come.
Thanks.